I know you're probably reading this title and thinking to yourself, how high was I when this happened? And the honest truth is that I wasn't high at all. And this girl that took us to Narnia was actually high. When I was 14, I met this girl. Let's call her Sapphire. She was this crazy girl that liked lots of drugs. I've heard stories of her taking every drug under the sun. Most days, I was hanging out with a friend of mine. The night before this happened, I spent the night at his place. He lived out in the country, so there wasn't much to do except hang out around his ranch. The next day, we got a ride into town from his dad, and we were left wondering what to do. So we decided to stop by Sapphire's house to see what type of crazy shit she was up to. When we got to her place and she answered the door, she looked insane. Her eyes were bigger than I've ever seen anybody's before. She looked at me for a minute before letting out a long, "Hey guys." I knew she was probably going to be high before we got to her place, but I didn't know she'd be tripping. I spent a while at her place just hanging out while my buddy decided to play his usual role of trying to have sex with her. When she got out of the bathroom, she asked me the weirdest question she's ever asked me, which only made me think that she was getting higher by the minute. "Hey guys, you want to go to Narnia?" I looked at her and asked what the hell she was talking about, but she wouldn't answer my question. She just kept getting more excited and asking us the same question. Eventually I gave in and told her that I did want to go to Narnia, because if there's a Narnia out there and the only way to get in was for a girl tripping on acid to bring you there, then I'm not going to miss out on the opportunity. We left her house and followed her for a while with the promise of seeing Narnia. The entire time that we were following her, my friend kept annoying her about showing us her boobs, which she just laughed off. Finally, she led us to this government building and told us we had to jump over a high fence before we could see it. As I looked above the fence, I saw some trees, which I thought was weird. I had no idea why they would put this fence in such a small area, but we all jumped over the fence, and I was absolutely stunned the moment I did so, because this was Narnia. As strange as it sounds, this is the closest thing I've ever seen to Narnia, if there ever was a Narnia. When I jumped over the fence, I was surrounded by all these trees that were so closely grouped together that I can only describe this as a mini forest. The sun was shining through the trees to create these little areas of sunlight, and as I stood there completely silent, I could hear the birds in the mini forest. We walked through this area, and I was taking everything in as I thought to myself that nobody was going to believe me tomorrow when I told them I went to Narnia. Sapphire led us to the end of the mini forest where there were no trees, and we hung out there for a minute. I was still trying to take everything in as my friend was flirting with Sapphire. Then I heard Sapphire say, "Alright boys, you want to see some real woman boobs?" And as I turned around, she had her shirt off and she was showing us her boobs, which I gotta say were some really grade A boobs. Moral of the story, if a girl high on acid ever asks you to go to Narnia with her, do it. You might even get to see some grade A titties. Till next time.